War, what is it good for? I don't know. Go ask Obama. You're watching Smart Remarks. So by the time you see this, we might already be bombing Syria. Obama said it's only really a matter of time because Assad used chemical weapons and the international community must respond by getting involved in yet another war in the Mideast. That's a great idea, don't you think? Because our wars in the Mideast in recent years have been so successful, and really, what could possibly go wrong? Except for the fact that the price of oil is already surging. Israel might get drawn into the fray. Russia and China have lined up behind Syria, and really, what actual proof do we have that Assad's troop used chemical weapons in a war that he was already winning? Why would he do that if by doing so he would only invite Western intervention? But we've brushed aside such concerns. John Kerry pronounced the other day that it was undeniable that Assad had used chemical weapons, and I thought, undeniable, well, that sounds kind of familiar. I seem to remember Colin Powell saying something similar about Saddam Hussein and WMDs. The vast majority of Americans think this is all nonsense. They do not want war, and the vast majority of Americans is correct in thinking that this is all going to be a fiasco. It's obvious, though, that the people running the show do want war. The great geopolitical game is afoot, and so now it's all a matter of telling the American public what they need to hear in order for them to jump on the bandwagon. We need to go over there and help out the rebels and be on the side of goodness and light, but really, there's more to it than that. But the public doesn't really have to know about that. No, all they need to do is line up behind the soldiers who are launching the cruise missiles or the people who are flying the sorties and tell them that they're fighting for freedom. But that raises another question, doesn't it? Exactly whose side are we fighting on? Who are these rebels that we're about to aid in this conflict? And then you read that at least some of them are affiliated with Al-Qaeda. And I thought, Al-Qaeda, now wait a minute, I thought they were the bad guys. But maybe now they're the good guys. If Obama says so, must be good enough for me. The public is rightfully war-weary. The public knows that wars cost money. We don't exactly have a lot of that sitting around these days. The public does not think that the cause of the rebels, whomever they are, is worth the price of one American life. There comes a time when our country needs to butt out of other countries' affairs. But see, this is the Mideast, and we'll never butt out of events there because we need the energy. Our multinational corporations need the profits from the energy. Our best friend forever, Israel, is there. So yeah, we're going to intervene. We're going to intervene in Iraq. We're going to intervene in Libya. We're going to intervene in Syria. We're going to intervene in Iran. We're going to intervene wherever we deem it, quote unquote, necessary. And you, dear citizen, your job is merely to, quote unquote, support the troops and shut up. Tell yourself that Al-Qaeda is now on the side of goodness and right. Repeat it often enough so that you believe it, or until you can't stand it anymore and you throw up. I oppose the war in Iraq. I oppose this war. I oppose every war unless Americans or American interests are attacked directly by the country that we then turn around and attack. But I also have come to understand that regardless of whether our leaders are Republican or Democrats, if they want the war, they will say what they need to say to get you to go along for the ride. What I see, though, is that the public ain't buying it. That gives me a little bit of hope. This war is probably going to happen anyway, but I tell you what, if it ain't a cakewalk, Obama has some very interesting times ahead.